And too often when it comes to the big occasion, Edinburgh come up short. Now they have the biggest of second chances to show what they are really made of. And they have the quality in abundance to put on a show here in front of a massive crowd at Scottish Gas Murrayfield. Glasgow Warriors. That's another magnificent occasion. All ready for round two. Battle lines drawn. Pride and passion. A classic clash of ancient rivalry. And Ross Thompson gets us underway. And a bit of an untidy start leads to the first knock-on. Came off an Edinburgh hand. And it will be Glasgow put in at the scrum. A bit of a flat start, but I'm sure what will follow will be something special.
Flat in terms of the knock-on, but actually clever from Edinburgh. Ross Thompson, so often we see the first kick of any game going along and everybody takes their time and settles in, the ball goes into touch, you have a line it, but there's a clear intent that there's a change here. Edinburgh won a contest, kicking short, putting it right on top of, I think it was Hugh Jones that couldn't quite get the ball back, and then Edinburgh won it, then knocked it on. So a kind of show of intent to say, listen, we want a contest here, we want to get up close and personal at the first possible opportunity, and couldn't quite capitalise without the knock-on, and we only had to wait 50 seconds for a scrum. Brilliant.
Well, it was an area of slight positivity last week for Edinburgh. The Glasgow front row conceded 9 penalties. All of their penalties coming from those 3 players. 5 of them were at the scrum, but that already. Cummings, he wasn't bad either.
Glasgow just going through the motions here, holding on to the ball really well, just like they did last week.
Edinburgh have recovered their defence a little bit because the first phase carry made 25 metres from Glasgow, solid scrum, and then it was on their own 10-metre line. They eventually made the tackle inside their own the opposition 10-metre line, so it's a 20-metre gain from the Warriors initially, and then Edinburgh found a bit of discipline, a bit of steel in defence, forced a kick from Dobity, up over the top. That's a reasonable outcome, and then Dobity's left foot this time, seeing that space. Not a huge amount of urgency to cover it in the backfield for Edinburgh, but
okay, let's speed this up, please.
Pay a bottom dollar at Glasgow. The personality of the show, and just the intent of the show, and just the fight of the show, I think is really important. And if you get those things right, you are in the fight, and you are with the quality you have in the game to potentially go on and win.
Even there, Chris, just we didn't see it last year, almost talked about last week, walking to lineouts, getting there early, tempo lineouts, getting over the game line. Yeah, the ball slowed down a little bit here, but just that urgency, that mindset they're showing early in the game is an improvement already.
Yeah, don't push it into him, play on.
Thompson to Mosesi to Pilotu, runs straight into Tom Jordan, who never shies out of a tackle, loves the physicality.
Yeah, I tell you, he puts it about, doesn't he?
It's a collision from 10, isn't it?
I know, you don't see many 10s putting collision. He loves that physical side of the game, almost embraces it.
There's Grant Gilchrist. As one of the senior players in the Edinburgh ranks, he'll be desperate that he can motivate those around him to step up on this big occasion.
Not a Glasgow
Too many Edinburgh players were lacking last week.
Sorry, Rory, just there that from that defensive effort, it wasn't a Glasgow player on free. It means that the Canol counter-attack has a better hit from Muncaster than Stein.
Okay, so
Carl Stein absolutely slammed to the ground. Ben Muncaster a little slow to get up though. A bit of a wobble from the Edinburgh number 8 coming in for Magnus Bradbury. Now Wes Goosen. We very rarely saw him running last week, and his adventure yields a penalty.
Cast and limp in the warm.
See, it's a penalty that it could have been done. You could almost see a croc roll there. You've seen a few of those penalised recently. Grant Gilchrist doesn't look in good shape though. I would be surprised if they have a look at that clear out on Berger Brown there. Just the way he landed on his leg, targeting that leg is something that the referees are trying to ban or trying to look out for.
He was more of a coming together, but I noticed that he initiates and just pulls you out of the way. I don't see it as a clear foul play.
Dangerous, that's why.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
So it looks like all fit and ready
Hands
to
on the
go
floor
again.
I can support your body weight.
And Ross Thompson can take aim towards the Glasgow 22.
Yeah.
Holly Davison running that line. She officiated the game at Hampden
On the
as
line,
the
Glasgow.
main referee.
Make sure we're back. Make sure we stay tight.
So Cherry to Ritchie at the back, then Crosby to Bohan Venter.
Yeah, he wasn't going to pass that, I don't think.
Cherry again with the second wave of attack from Edinburgh. Price now switching the direction. Curry to Graham, who's hit really hard. Shuddered backwards.
Jamie Dobie has come half from the edge, just read that play perfectly well, and not only made the tackle but drove the attacker back as well, Matt Curry.
Glasgow take such pride in their defence. They would have been frustrated, certainly Franco Smith was, at the concession of those two late tries from Edinburgh last week, two tap penalties that Bohan Venter burrowed over with.
More bite to Edinburgh this week for sure. I know that's just been knocked back, but there's definitely more bite, more aggression, more intensity to everything they're trying to do today.
Goosen. Popped up, but it will be on the Edinburgh side still. Thompson, Fenter. Thompson this time picks out Cherry. Gregor Brown with the tackle.
Go clear left.
Crosby.
Edinburgh need to have the courage to throw one more pass.
No, don't play the 9 now. Back you go.
Glasgow defence is excellent. It's shutting off where Edinburgh really want to cause a bit of damage outside that ball carrying player. Jamie Ritchie thought about it there. If they have the courage to throw one more pass, they'll cause more damage to the Glasgow defence.
Might go wide this time. It's Goosen again, really well lined up. An excellent read on the defence.
Jamie Dobie again. Just reads it so well off the pass. Times it perfectly. As soon as that ball leaves Curry's hands onto Asusi, he just accelerates into the space.
Thompson to Ipelotu. Great timing on the pass, Ritchie. He had Duan van der Merwe outside him, instead he comes inside. And Ali Price.
Ball's out.
Well, that's gone Edinburgh into the 22, but it has gone forward. Well, that's probably the best bit of attacking play we've seen from Edinburgh in 90 minutes worth of rugby.
Yeah, Jamie Ritchie breaking through. It's this extra pass. This is the one I'm talking about. Take it to the line and then just don't die with it. It's Sessi to Ipelotu there. It just tips it on. And if Jamie Ritchie looks to his left, Duhan van der Merwe's there, but that's an heck despairing tackle from Tom Jordan. He does enough to bring Ali Price down. It's crucial.
However, running outside him, trying to get that support line, just manages to get in the way of it. Gets clattered for his troubles, but work off the ball in defence there, scrambling back, forcing a turnover after what was a really encouraging passage of play from Edinburgh.
Here's our man.
Well, it's an Edinburgh side that have games full of tries and points. Well, and readying to come on is Hamish Watson. Back in the Edinburgh squad, that'll be a boost, but losing Jamie Ritchie for a spell at least will be a blow. But replacing quality with quality, Hamish Watson returns.
So a big chance for Hamish Watson. Almost become the forgotten man of
So left for me.
not only Edinburgh but the Scottish Rugby. Just so much quality, but given the players ahead of him in that Edinburgh team, he hasn't had much of an opportunity. So looks like he might get a good run.
And Darcy Ray have played for both
Open up, Edinburgh at the back.
sides of the Scottish Rugby divide. And it comes from Hiddleston. Good find for Brown. Now the hooker gets this Glasgow Warriors maul going. Venter has to be careful in there. Dobie to Ipelotu. There's already advantage here for the Warriors as Kyle Stain cuts in.
Release!
Does manage to get the ball back, and Jack Mann got his hands on it now. It's Batty along the 22 for the Warriors. Decide to fire it out to the backs and the dancing feet of Hugh Jones.
There's a knock on there. We're going back for the penalty. Number 1 side entry at the mall.
Turbo and Fenter penalised.
Number
Pretty
1
easy
side
meters
entry at the mall.
From Glasgow in the mall. Remember, two or three tries in the first half were scored from that mall last week, sorry. And that made a lot of yardage as well. So playing with that penalty advantage, they can be a little bit more carefree. They try to take on Edinburgh defence. Edinburgh defence is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it definitely looks more physical today. There's a bit more bite. They're making better decisions at the breakdown.
One receiver now. One receiver.
Has Gregor Hiddleston learnt from how Johnny Matthews does this? Have Edinburgh learnt from how to defend it?
It's a tackle!
That one was hauled down pretty quickly, so Glasgow couldn't get the maul going.
Use it!
And the forwards, you would think, would be quite keen to
Glasgow, use it!
keep a hold of this. Ball needs to come out.
Don't pull him in!
It does from Cummings to his second row partner in Brown.
Okay, 4!
There will be some of the Glasgow backs licking their lips if they can manage to spin this out wide, but for the moment it stays with the forwards, and Batty, that has been knocked forwards, and it will be an Edinburgh put in, just a little untidy from Glasgow. Usually they are ruthless from that kind of range.
Yeah, credit to Edinburgh's defence there. They managed to slow each collision down. Ball was really getting choked up at the back of the ruck there, and Tander Fagerson tries to take it quickly, and he just loses it. He'll be disappointed with that because he carries so well in those tight exchanges. He was brilliant last week, actually. Just the quality of his carries in those tight exchanges gets Glasgow over the gain line.
Exactly what Edinburgh would have wanted. When you see Ceci Tuipulotu reacting with a bit of whooping and hollering as well, just trying to get some of a foothold, just trying to get that effect that it's not going to be all Glasgow's way. It's only half the job done now from an Edinburgh perspective, because you're facing a scrum in 5 metres for your own line. So the big part of the decision makers and the senior players in that Edinburgh squad have to be thinking, listen, that's the first part done. The second part is getting a clear passage out of here. You see Ali Price scanning the backfield.
Steady.
Manchester might fancy this as well.
Yeah, big blindside here. It's Luke Crosby gone to the back, actually.
And it's Crosby's pick up. Clearance should come. It's Price, just had a stutter and forces the penalty.
Yeah, Scott Cummins, a really soft one. He's really keen to put pressure on the box kick. He knows it though, he just jumped the gun. He's just got to get back on side. If he does that, he can't keep going forward.
That's what I mean, it's a little bit kind of clunkier than Edinburgh would have wanted as well. And they take them 2 phases to get slow ball, to almost have Ali Price trying to kick over his shoulder to touch. And they were lucky that Cummins gave that penalty away, quite a soft penalty, because Edinburgh had created a dynamic enough ruck to kick on their terms.
See it there, he's affected the box. He puts his hands up straight away, he knows immediately. You see that quite often, they sometimes creep and then they just retire back on side, but for some reason he just kept going there.
This time it goes to the front where Hamish Watson leaps. Now Crosby in amongst the back line. Thompson,
stop in front now
from deep. He's going to hoist that one high and test out Kyle Rowe for the first time. Kept his eye on it. Well, Johan van der Merwe was closing in on him. Now there's a fight for the ball, but the Warriors pack have managed to get behind their fullback and secure possession.
Use it!
Dobie now will
access Edinburgh.
Return the question, and a contested kick on that far side.
Play on.
Back on the Warriors side, but a loose pass. Rowe surveying his options. He's got Hugh Jones, and now Kyle Stain.
Eyes up. Good.
From Jordan to Pilotu. Brings so much power, so much energy, gets the pass away. Cassieri down the touchline, but hauled into touch.
Thank you.
Van der Merwe had to recover there because he just nibbled in a little bit with Tuipulotu.
Be careful there.
Brought in the outside defender and then off a wonderful offload out the back door. I think whether it was high or not, the tackle.
It's a good physical hit.
See Tuipulotu. Curry. Thompson's long pass out to Darcy Graham. He's still going somehow. Glasgow really shut down the threat of Edinburgh's deadly back three last week. Never really got much clean ball. And Tom spotting this opportunity for the 50-22. It's going to be close. It's perfectly measured by the Edinburgh fly half.
What a kick against the grain. Saw the space early. Carl Stein was up.
Yes, perfectly judged, isn't it? Just half a metre or even less from the touch and then bouncing in. So it's 50-22. Is Edinburgh's throw. Really clever play.
Clean take from Crosby, and now Cherry at the back. The hooker's in control. Now breaks loose. Runs into Jack Mann.
That's such a good tackle. That's such a hard tackle there. He gets caught. I think someone else goes off their feet. I thought Jack Mann was actually superb last week. Really physical. Had so long out of the game.
Yes, thank you. Jack illegal. Tackle on the wrong side.
And it was only his 5th game. It's only his 6th appearance for Glasgow. And there's another example of a young player or a younger player who comes in and just fits the mould, does exactly what's needed and more. And he was unfortunate there because he made the dominant shot on Dave Cherry. Dave Cherry broke off on his own, and then Jack Mann noticed that, won the collision, but lost his feet on the wrong side, wasn't quick enough to roll away. I think this is a wise decision to take a kick at goal from Edinburgh. Obviously, first quarter of the game, 0-0. First opportunity for points. I think it's a wise decision.
I'll give you 15 seconds, okay? Yes, I'll give you 15 seconds. Yeah, perfect.
Ross Thompson was leading the way for URC points last week, but overtaken by Johan Lloyd of the Scarlets. Former Glasgow Warrior will look for the first points of this contest. At this stage, a week ago, it was 21-0 to the Glasgow Warriors. Got for Ross Thompson. Pulls his nerve amongst the 40,000 crowd and gets the first points of the contest. Edinburgh lead by 3-0.
Yeah, good decision comes from his kick as well from that 50-22. Glasgow, as they always do, have gone quickly, but the Merwe's up to it.
Take from the hulking winger, eventually gets halted.
Use it! 1, 2, 3. Sender.
Willie Price.
Okay, access.
Plenty height on that to test out Rowe. Solid take.
Tacker.
The fullback. Xander Fagerson on to Brown. Now Mann. 5 games in a row for the number 8. Fagerson.
Tacker.
Well, Jack Dempsey there. Matt Fagerson could slip there, but he's got so many injuries. And Jack Mann has actually done such a good job of
falling on the wrong side,
quality carries, really physical in defence as well. It's interesting when everyone's back fit, who we probably know who the starting back row is, but who's going to take those bench slots for Glasgow? He's definitely someone that's put his hand up.
Yeah, we'll stop after the kick.
That's a confirmation that Jamie Rich has failed his head injury assessment as well, coming over the PA. So Hamish Watson will be on for the foreseeable. Quality replacement, as you already mentioned it. Just another one about the back row. And about Jack Mann, there's so many, isn't there? Scotland seem to produce so many barriers. Another one, he plays hooker as well. He's
a bit clunky there from Glasgow. Didn't quite click there.
Jordan. Rowe.
Strip his back.
That has been stripped. Van der Merwe. Darcy Graham too coming off his wing.
Use it.
Glasgow Warriors have around about a 41% conversion rate in the red zone, best in the league, but they've let a couple of opportunities slip. And Price with the clearance, taken though. Now Rowe.
Okay, release!
Warriors pack working hard to get behind their man. Batty. Jordan has gone backwards and now picked up by Dobie, but I think by then the ball had gone forward.
It's going Edinburgh's way here. They're forcing errors we don't often see from Glasgow. And that kick from Price was probably would rather have gone off the field, but it didn't. Kyle Rowe got a chance to counter-attack, but he was hit really hard by Ross Thompson and Dave Cherry in the midfield, and then when Glasgow flood down that short side that they often like to do with so much effect and counter-attack, again it was met with a decent defensive effort from Edinburgh, forcing a knock on. Tom Jordan just couldn't quite get the hands free to the free runner. So all these little bits are things where Sean Everett, the man on the screen, would have wanted as a reaction to last week, especially in the opening quarter of the game, first 25 minutes of the game. Almost get over a lot of the self-doubts by how they're applying themselves early on, and the rewards are getting, yes, it's only 3-0, but Edinburgh will be by far happier at the moment.
Water off, please.
Only once was there a larger first leg lead in the battle for the 1872 Cup. That was in 2008-2009 when Edinburgh won on Boxing Day by 33 points. But the largest deficit to be overturned was 13 back in 2016-17 when Edinburgh had a 17-point win at Scotstoun. Well, look who's managed to get himself back on the Glasgow bench.
Oh, sickening. Just let it go, Ryan. Let it go.
Don't do sit next to him.
You know he's got a mic on, that's why.
Set! Quick reset here.
Darcy asking for a penalty. Ryan smile on his face as he looks at Jamie Batty. This is the side of the scrum that's had all the trouble, isn't it? You know each other so well.
Quick reset, just step up here.
Look at that.
Both down at the same time. That looks great fun, doesn't it?
You play prop. They love it though, don't they? You'd have to. You'd absolutely have to love it if you're going to do it. But these guys will scrummage against each other, you know, for 6-7 weeks during a Six Nations camp. They'll know each other's habits and know there's so much feel to playing in the front row.
Set! Point here now.
Got a solid scrum. No, we didn't.
Well, down it goes, and up goes the arm. And it's Edinburgh that win the penalty.
Just falling. Okay, nice and easy. Go across. Pick up. No time to land. We'll speak for the next one, Xander. Number one collapsing.
Looked like he kicked out a little bit there, Jamie Batty, wasn't it? And just looking for a chink. I think Darcy's right foot just came off the ground a wee bit. I thought he was going to be vulnerable, and then Batty almost pushed the hips out to try and take advantage and was penalised. That man will be frustrated, I think.
Yeah, he would be. I just about that scrum, I think that almost felt a little bit personal there. I think sometimes we had a steady scrum there, and you can get a little bit greedy. And actually, I think both teams would have been happy with a steady scrum there. But I think you're right. Jamie Batty's hips come out a little bit, and then he loses his bind and goes to ground. I don't think Frank is going to be too happy with how these opening 28 minutes have gone.
Lancaster's taken the line out, and now Cherry is halted, so Price flings it out to Tui Pilotu. Now Thompson and Van der Merwe, an opportunity opens up here, one-handed from Van der Merwe out to Darcy Graham as the two wingers combine.
This isn't coming out.
It's gone forward just as Edinburgh seem to have some impressive territory and position. And Glasgow from their own line.
Okay, use it! No.
Over. He clears.
They're going to go fast. No. There's a great tackle. Edinburgh get into good shape, actually. this ball over the top by Duan van der Merwe, but have a look at the work in defence, straight under the ball. It's Hugh Jones and Kyle Steyn. Darcy Graham gets caught. No man, you know, it's a really hard one as a smaller player. Someone just targets it, like Glasgow do so well. Hold you up, turn you over.
The one thing I would say is that the Glasgow defence did well. Were delighted when Duhan van der Merwe tried to give that one-handed pass. He had just a little bit of head of steam up. He had run at space. Yeah, he was probably going to be tackled, but if he runs really hard there, he commits more defenders than the kind of bounce pass towards Darcy Graham. But
I'd love to see you. Right? I'd love to see him just pin his ears back there. Look for the offload post contact.
Lifted there for me first, so we're going to play on.
Sam Skinner, Crosby.
Okay, tackle. Don't play the 9 now.
Thompson to Pilotu. And Darcy Graham cuts back.
Playing advantage.
Crosby, Edinburgh with advantage here.
3 hands on the floor.
Curry. And over the top for Muncaster.
Yes, penalty advantage. Yes.
Gilchrist has it.
Wait.
Fenter. Edinburgh not going anywhere too quickly. Not for now anyway, and that's loose, so we will go back for the penalty. It was against Sander Fagerson for his hands in the ruck.
In the Glasgow half.
yeah, just not quite sure if Zander got back to his feet quickly. It was actually a really good tackle on Darcy Graham.
Hands on the floor first, spoiling the contest, affecting the quality of the ball.
Hands on the floor first. It was almost perfect.
3 hands on the floor first, target the ball, not the space beyond.
Made the tackle, tried to pop up and get on the ball, but his hands at the ground first. Glasgow haven't had a lot of possession, John. Certainly to attack with, and this is, I think, another reasonably good decision from Edinburgh, from Ross Thompson, to take the attempt at goal.
Yeah, I think if you take the first one again, they're in control. Is there more? Are they that confident in their maul? Glasgow's maul defence is very good, so I think they're right. If you take the 6-0, Edinburgh would be delighted with this. I think Glasgow, they had an nice opening spell, but just not really managed to hold the ball, and everything they have done has just been a little bit clunky compared to last week, and that's partly down to Edinburgh slowing the ball down. The collisions are better. Also, there's a little bit on Glasgow here which isn't quite clicking.
To Ross Thompson to try to double Edinburgh's advantage. And that one will drift wide. Never quite got the connection.
Stop in front. No, stop. Retreat.
It's a long way out in this big pitch, but Ross Thompson will be a little bit frustrated with that. Always left. The net effect is he's still got the line out just outside the 22, Glasgow's 22.
So someone's given him the wrong size shirt today.
It's been untucked. I thought that earlier on. It's a bit baggy.
The baggy version.
Price from the edge of the 22 finds Skinner.
Let him go, now let him up.
Thompson, Curry to chip one through to try to turn the defence. It will be taken over, well, not rather taken over, the ball bounced over and Jordan able to get it down.
If that stopped short of the goal line, then it's a really difficult situation for Tom Jordan to deal with.
Behind, guys, go.
Tom Jordan's experience is taking all the time in the world. Realises that the momentum's against his side at the moment, and any second you can win back is important.
There's Crosby to run it straight back. The Glasgow Warriors. Thompson. Tui Pilotu. And Hoosen looking for a gap. Oh, he was half through. Jack Mann managed to hold on though.
That's good. Strip is good in the tackle.
That has been stripped though. Gregor Brown has the ball for Glasgow.
Use it!
Yeah, it's a good strip. I think they were a bit lucky there as well. There was a crop roll on Jim Dobie, it looked like. wasn't picked up. So, but again, Glasgow just so good when teams get behind them, target the ball, manage to find a way to make the turnover.
It's high from Dobie, and it will just give another opportunity for Edinburgh to continue what has been an attacking half from them.
Better intent from Hussein that time. Just a real clear want to break the contact, to get through the line. It was Skinner, I think, who was stripped second time. That's brilliant from Gregor Brown. Not only to rip the ball, but then to catch it in the rebound.
This up, please.
And Dobie's kick's not gone too far, so Edinburgh have another opportunity. But Edinburgh, I think, in the context of the game, need more than this 3-0 lead for the possession in the territory they've had in this second quarter.
Glasgow finish so strongly, don't they? You know almost that Glasgow are going to get half time here and get their act together, so you almost do feel like you're right, Chris, that they need to get something on the board here.
Cherry now has a go. Kyle Stein thought he'd managed to turn that one over. Watson goes into play scrum half, and Muncaster with the ball, getting closer and closer to those Warriors posts. Watson next. Darcy Graham. And Sam Skinner. Momentum building here for Edinburgh. Mosese Tuipulotu. Ali Price and Dave Cherry. 5 metres out.
Yeah, don't track him.
Finter. Being urged on by the home crowd. Gilchrist wriggles for a few extra metres. Now Tuipulotu is carried really well early on. He brings that dynamism and energy to the midfield. Venter is short.
Okay, 7.
Glasgow offside.
Okay,
there is an offside against Glasgow. What a chance this is for Edinburgh with just over 3 minutes left in the half. Price and Tuipulotu once again. Well held up by Hugh Jones. Now Muncaster.
Tom Jordan in amongst that.
He's made about 8 tackles in his face.
Advantage.
He was pushing the defence back that side. I think he wanted to make the tackle himself.
Gilchrist and flying up in defence.
Stop there, stop, let him go. Let me get you the mark. Holly, mark.
So 5 metres out, Edinburgh will have the penalty.
Good defence, you have to save from Glasgow. Rolling their sleeves up in desperation. This is their Venter scored last week.
Well, he did it twice last week, no way through this time, but the Edinburgh opportunity comes. Crosby on the stretch. His reaction will tell you.
Draw just an extra defender, and then the pass out, and Luke Crosby does all the hard work. I'll tell you what, Gregor Hiddleston does a great job. You talk about that work off the ball, it's never dead. Gregor Hiddleston gets round the corner here, manages to get himself free of that ruck, and then still doesn't die with it and shuts the ball out. It's a quality piece of play off the wall.
Just desperation to stay in the fight, isn't it? Anything at all. Luke Crosby perfectly within his right to have that one place, that one reach for the ball.
And the heights as well.
He's lost control of it as Hiddleston gets under pressure.
Yeah, I understand that. But we can both be better here now, lads.
And Glasgow's defensive techs on their own goal line. Tackle time and time again.
Let's go.
I said before, it's a big moment in the context of the game, that. But as you said, when Edinburgh were in their own goal line, it's half the job, isn't it? The next part is for Glasgow to get themselves out of this position. Tough clearance as well, because you're directly under the posts, so you can't really kick off first phase. You're going to have to play a couple, one or the other, try and make some space.
Use it. Now, use it now.
It is there for Dobie. Tuipulotu, they're going to run this. Hugh Jones, they've got a 2-on-1. It gets into the hands of Stein. Look at the timing there from Darcy Graham. Absolutely superb, and the foot was in touch, so Wes Goosen does not have the opportunity to counter-attack.
Good tackle from Darcy Graham. Good attack from Glasgow Warriors. Edinburgh have to be passive because there's so much backfield to cover, so the wingers are sitting off. Glasgow know that, they're assertive with their attack, and then great recovery from Graham to make that tackle on Kyle Stein.
It's a great exit though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You talked about, if you had to kick the ball from there, would you be happy? And then just managed to take that risk. Great hands and a great tackle, but you'd be happy with that.
Glasgow did that 2-3 weeks ago against Toulon, but went to the right hand side. Jamie Dobie kicked it up the field and then scored from the line out. It was really inventive exit.
Really good grab there from Muncaster, and Graham has it once again.
Okay, leave it now. No hands.
Told by the referee not to play that ball. Tui Pilotu. Skinner. Clock is red for this half. Just the one penalty separating the two teams. It's a very, very different story to last week. Edinburgh were pretty much out of it by this stage.
No lift now.
But they lead. It is there for Price. Muncaster. Thompson. On the floor, that does.
Nice and easy. 2 knock-ons there. First by Edinburgh.
Go to deck.
Second
Knocked
by
on. One each, and that brings it to Ross Thompson's penalty. They have the advantage at the break at Scottish Gas Murrayfield. It's Edinburgh Rugby 3, Glasgow Warriors 0. Hamish Watson now. Nothing as yet over the whitewash. Tui Pilotu again. Steps inside.
Pull off it. Leave it now. Wait.
Ball is there for Price. Bit of a juggle from Thompson. And then the chip through. He's got a chaser here in Darcy Graham. Well, that was really important from Kyle Rowe that he got that right. There'll be an Edinburgh line out as well.
Just keeps the pressure on again, doesn't it? Glasgow defence shuts down any wide attack really pretty well. Edinburgh then react to come back down the short side again. You can see Kyle Stein in the top of the picture. He's high. He's up, shutting off any kind of attacking ball with ball in hand play. Ross Thompson notices that, pushes through his right foot, forces Kyle Rowe to take the ball out, and Edinburgh get another opportunity. It's good game management by Edinburgh.
So Sebastian Canzieri is the man who makes way for George Horn. I would suspect it would be Jamie Dobie that would be the one to go onto the wing and Horn to scrum half. In fact, that is exactly what seems to be happening. Cherry to Gilchrist, who really had to reach across the line.
At the front. The tackle now, release!
Look at that again, though. Every single Glasgow player back on his feet. It's brilliant defence, brilliant work right off the ball.
Edinburgh having to work so hard to try and breach this defence. Gilchrist
backwards.
That has gone loose, but back into the hands of Hamish Watson.
Use it, 9.
Defences on top so far, but can Edinburgh find the first breach? First Schumann, then Cherry. Watson seeking out another collision. Pierre Schumann. A change of the angle, but it's still kept pretty tight, and Skinner. Now the backs to have a go. Thompson.
Great tackle by Ali Miller. Superb tackle.
He can come up with something special. Skinner, great hands on to Schumann.
All out.
Still no way through. And Glasgow have got it.
It's so good. Yeah, I know it's 3-0 and we want to see some tries, we want to have something to talk about. We might just be talking about the defensive effort, but just every single phase, if you watch back, Glasgow players recycling themselves. This time, that's a superb tackle by Ali Miller we spoke about, but this time it was Gregor Hiddleston gets over the ball, just managed to absorb all the physical pressure which Edinburgh were putting onto them and get the turnover.
Edinburgh trying to impose themselves on every single ball carrier there, whether it's Schumann, whether it's Hamish Watson, time and time again, fighting Ben Muncaster, big ball carriers are trying to bring momentum and speed and passion, but every contact was won by a Glasgow defender.
This is, you said it, just the extra pass. You know, how can you move the point of attack slightly, make it a one-on-one collision? Glasgow have shown over, certainly the last 6 to 12 months, you throw a physical challenge at them, they're absolutely fine. In fact, they relish that.
They've talked about how the pain of a narrow defeat before lifting the 1872 Cup, that odd feeling here last season. They don't want to experience that again, the Glasgow Warriors. They used that on their playoff hunt. They had to go to Munster and then to Pretoria to lift the URC title. This is a team that know how to get the job done in difficult circumstances. It's Matt Fagerson. George Horn, he's a real live wire. Horn, and then Tuipulotu gets the hands free. Brown gets well into Edinburgh territory.
No lift, no, back you go.
Slow ball though. Tuipulotu with the missed pass. Now the chance could be on for Glasgow. Rowe kicks it. He's got chasers, but Ali Price is there too.
He's carried back over.
Carried into his own goal area, so Warriors will have the scrum. Was that the right decision?
I don't know if you saw it. It looked like Glasgow flooded through. We saw that pass last week, didn't we?
Number 10.
Sunny Tuipulotu's flat pass across the face. Makes the winger bite in on it. It's Darcy Graham this time. Ball across the front. Have a look at the support runners. Ali Price does a pretty good job again in the way. I'd like to see that second hand though.
Yeah, even if you're going to kick it later. You hold all the cards of the ball there because you've got a scrambled defence going backwards. There's Vegas fighting so hard. Glasgow just come alive when they get the ball in hand, don't they? I mean, there's 2 or 3 carries there that Gregor Brown marauding up the middle of the field. George Horn bringing a bit of tempo at 9.
You get Lamb first.
And when that ball's flashed across to Kyle Rowe, he's in control. He has the ball. And I think he just maybe kicked a little bit too early. I think it was Matt Fagerson on his outside, and obviously George Horn and chasers on the inside. But Edinburgh have had a lot of possession in the second half, and made maybe half a metre or even less per carry. Glasgow can make 20 or 15 or 20 metres on one carry because they've got more options in and around the ball player or the ball carrier. And this is a big scrum now for Edinburgh. The scrum's been excellent. They've made a couple of changes, and the prop, let's see how the new front row do.
Couple of changes in the back line as well, because Ben Healy and James Lang are on for Ross Thompson and Mosesi Tuipulotu, but there will be a Glasgow free kick. I suspect they will go again.
Fading here on 17. Back you go.
I think Edinburgh would be happy with that. They have to defend the tap and go now. Put up the 5, George. Take another yard. Don't make it harder.
Bigger runner.
So George Horn, he swings it out wide. Tuipulotu steps, cuts back in. Is Brown really quickly shut down by that Edinburgh defence?
17.
Glasgow have had to absorb so many attacks, and well, Horn just got a little bit disorientated there. Didn't have any support. Glasgow usually so lethal, so ruthless in this kind of area of the field. Not yet today.
Tackle away now.
It's Rory Darge. Horn to Matt Fagerson.
Don't put it. No.
Now with Rory Sutherland. Edinburgh defence well lined up. Up quick in defence as well. And targeting the ball, and Skinner's got it. George Horn inquires, and he'll be marched back an extra 10 metres.
Yeah, quite right again from one across. I think there might be a word to George Horn as well. To the captain. He's getting really frustrated at Sam Skinner. George Horn in 2 or 3 phases there.
There's a lot of chatting down to I give a decision there. I understand his frustration. When he started to shout at me like that. Yeah. If 22 does that again, he will leave the pitch. Yeah. In general, the chat needs to stop. Okay.
Okay, I understand. It's a big win for Edinburgh's defence that time, isn't it, John?
Yeah, you see Roy Sutherland's clearing out. I think it's Pierre Schumann he actually takes out. Darcy Ray maybe takes the big threat out, but the problem with that is you end up almost off your feet. No one to take the jackal out who falls over the ball there. George Horn was complaining about there. It looked like a really clear decision from Owen Cross there. Edinburgh isolated on the ball. Sam Skinner.
Thompson. And Price, and first run for James Lang. Cherry back in field. Schumann has come right into the thick of the action, as expected. Curry now.
Tackle complete there.
Let's get that away to Watson. That's the sort of aggression that we're used to seeing from Hamish Watson. Ben Healy, Javan Sebastian. Schumann. Sebastian leaves it to Healy, who then runs into Crosby. There will be a Glasgow penalty. Neither side really getting much dominance in this game. It seems to go one way then the other.
I just wonder, as we get into the final quarter, John, like 3-0, who gets more nervous here? The team that's expected to win, that's flying high in the top 2 places in the league, or the team that desperately needs a win after the performance last week? It's only 3 points in it. It's interesting to see whose nerves will be more frayed.
I think Glasgow would be pretty comfortable. I think they'd be so frustrated with how they've performed. Not really managed to get their attack going, but they're still in the game, and they've shown just how dangerous they can be. Just to see when Edinburgh go, it's really poor from Ben Healy there. He just runs into his own player's back. I think I like the ambition, the ball out of the back. Good to see him taking the ball to the line. Unfortunate execution wasn't there.
Okay, Edinburgh, hold there,
it's
please.
It's a test of Glasgow's kind of mentality here, though, whether they attack, because it's another error we don't often see.
It's a great slap back from Muncaster to win the line out for Edinburgh on the Glasgow throw.
Okay, don't play now. Back you go.
Paddy Harrison is on for Dave Cherry at hooker for Edinburgh.
What do you want? Use it!
Price.
Access.
High one, and there'll be a number of players underneath this. Stuart van der Merwe is one of them. Gets the pass on, and Skinner. He'll had a look inside. It was Javan Sebastian who was trying desperately to track him, but it's Glasgow's penalty.
Javan Sebastian's complaining. He was taken off the ball from behind. He got pushed. It wasn't picked up by the referee. He would have been the man clearing out that ruck, though.
Was it Dobie that won the penalty? The kick's not long enough from Price.
Keep your eyes on Javan Sebastian as he goes through here. I don't know who pushes him.
Paddy Harrison.
It's Roy Dodge. Yeah, a bit of a coming together of bodies. We'll give it that.
You know, Max, there. It's just the coming together. There's nothing in it, okay?
You even got the wording.
There you go, eh? Made by your whistle.
Referee done race on a Sunday. That's enough for me.
It's tough.
Yes, time's off. Time is off.
I actually thought Edinburgh were quite fortunate there, because the players should have retreated. They were within that 10 metre of the box kick. But Van der Merwe got up, won it back. He was injured just before that, and a choke tackle as he tried to get himself down. He got twisted awkwardly as he tried to get himself back to the deck. Looks like it's maybe going to have to come off here. Johan Van der Merwe is. So it'll be Charlie Schuell that's left, because James Lang's already on the midfield. This is the break here.
On the line, you open up.
Good play by Dobie.
So Van der Merwe heading up the tunnel. Charlie Schuell on in his place. No tries in the opening hour. I can tell you the good news is that these two teams score the joint most tries in the final quarter of games in the URC, so fingers crossed.
There is hope.
It's got to be 3-3, isn't it?
Now Glasgow can put some width on the ball, and acceleration coming from Hugh Jones. 20. He's done it so often on this pitch. As a Scotland international. As Jordan looking to bounce that one into touch, he does just that. Gets the defence turned. Asks the questions of Edinburgh.
Excellent kick, excellent shape on it. Knew exactly what he's trying to do. It's not a 50-22, so Edinburgh can go quick.
That's exactly what they've done here. Goes Hooson to Graham.
Advantage.
And with advantage. And again Price looks to go quickly. Won't be allowed to this time.
A lot going on here.
Captains, let me just explain. So we've got a tackler on the runway, but we've got to take out past the ball, which is foul play. So we're going with the foul play penalty against you for a take out past the ruck. That's what we're doing. Okay, back we go, please, lads.
So the penalty to be reversed.
Take out past the ruck.
It's Gregor Hiddleston with a great tackle on Darcy Gray. This Rory Darge on the ball. Sam Skinner. It's quite a tough penalty, that, I think.
Yeah, what else is he meant to do, really, mate?
You see that something's doing when he takes him way past, but actually he's almost the speed of it he's just come into. He can't just stop straight away. I think that's a great call.
I think it's a wrap. If you wrap your arms around as well, make the tackle, it's more obvious. I don't think Sam's going to particularly wrapped out. I see Jamie Ritchie looking on, fortunate to leave us in the first 15 minutes or so. But again, a kind of sign of intent from Edinburgh to go quick from the quick throw in their own 22 to try and spark the game into life. We didn't see that last week.
To the tail, and it goes over the fingertips of Ali Miller, taken initially by Harrison, and now Edinburgh can go. Cousin towards the touchline. I think just managed to keep himself in there. Harrison has it back.
Wait, no.
And Muncaster. Healy to Schumann. Right in the middle of the pitch.
Gathered.
And Glasgow have it.
Rory Darge.
Classic Rory Darge.
Yeah, he's been sniffing around and just, you can see that just the energy in the game's gone up, the tempo's picked up, and players are just almost playing what's in front of them. Just like a pick and go from the back of that ruck. Another good carry by Pierre Schumann has been excellent. Coming off the bench. He just gets isolated. Rory Darge straight on ball.
Okay, option, lads.
That's because line, that's the problem, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Paddy Harrison just reacts really quickly, isn't the overthrown line out, and Edinburgh try to find that space in the edge. Again, it's well defended by Jamie Dobie on the wing there. Houston does the right thing just to keep the ball alive, to get the ball in play. And then again, Moses is structure, and it creates opportunities like we saw for Rory Darge when the structure's not there to get in and poach and win the penalty.
So Brown with the take. Hiddleston's throw, an advantage here for the Glasgow Warriors. Side entry against Schumann, and the maul gets going for the first time. That's been collapsed. The penalty awarded for Pierre Schumann's side entry. And I think even in a game that's 3-0, Glasgow will still put this to the corner, would you think?
Side entry here.
Yeah, I'd imagine they will. That's what they do. It's a tough penalty as well, out near the 5 metre. Go at the front of the line at Glasgow this time. They build that maul. Schumann just hands around the wrong side too long, doesn't it?
I don't think he did too much wrong initially. He did take away the lifter, so you could have almost picked your penalties.
Substitution.
I think because he lost his bind with his shoulder, really, isn't it? Like he was almost binding with his arms, and it was clearly on the wrong side. If he'd been bound with his shoulder, I think he'd been okay.
So Marshall Sykes is on for Sam Skinner. Big defensive line out for Edinburgh. Can Glasgow get this maul going? Up goes Gilchrist, but it's still with Glasgow. They've got advantage as well.
They're going to get another go at this, so they can go through a couple of phases here.
It's Cummings, Horn. They can try to take a chance. Jordan is going to run out of space. Is he? No, he's not. Manages to get the ball inside.
It's clearly held up.
But it's been held up. Gregor Hiddleston asked the question if this should indeed be looked at.
It's Darge with a charge.
Number 5 thrown across.
Shield and Price, I think, are the ones who end up underneath it. Good offload from Todd Jordan. Charlie Shield and Schumann as well from this side. We can't see for that angle, but going across is right on the money. He's right on the mark. It's all under penalty advantage, of course. Price and Charlie Shield have done enough there, just.
A couple of scrum halves managing to hold up the bustling back row forward.
Well, they've done a great job from that angle. It's maybe as much Rooney Darge as a ball, maybe under his own arms as well, trying to protect it. The last take at the line, it was immaculate, I think, from Scott Cummins.
Big moment here. This time it's Brown who takes it at the line out. The backs are coming in. Well, this was the route to the try line for Glasgow last week. Tui Pelotu, there's only two out here. Tui Pelotu will chase his own kick. It's all about the bounce. And it goes into the hands of Paddy Harrison.
Side entry here, my side from 8. No, that's 3. Any more down there? Yeah, someone's going to leave. Get the message, speak to your players now. No more.
Glasgow were playing with advantage for another side entry. That's the last warning.
Okay, we're going to take the same line up. We're going line out again here, lads. Let's go.
Something landed for outer space, I think.
I wonder if there's something special, some sort of trick play. There's a big conversation there going on. Roll Sullivan now, just going to go up the jumper. Here come the backs.
Miller takes it. Hiddleston has it. 3 metres ago, it's desperation from Edinburgh. Can Glasgow get there? It's a penalty try! It's a huge moment! And there's going to be a yellow card as well to add salt to the wounds.
16. Number 16.
It's Paddy Harrison who's going to be carded. Glasgow have the full 7 points for the penalty try. And how important could that be in this game, which has been the tightest of tussles? We've got less than 12 minutes to go, and Edinburgh will play 10 of that with 14 men.
Time's up.
Yeah, it's great patience by Glasgow. Get them all set really well. Roy Sullivan in and around the ball. At this point, you're thinking, we get the ball to the backs join. We saw this last week. This almost can't go down or can't get stopped legally. Have a look at Paddy Harrison. I mean, they could have picked a few players there, really.
Yeah, it's almost like sacked from 2 or 3 different angles, wasn't it? But credit to Glasgow as well, just the perseverance. The first line out throw in the 3 was to Scott Cummins, the second to Gregor Brown. It was Ali Miller that took that one. So they're making Edinburgh, I think, trying to second guess where that ball's going to be won, where they're going to have to defend against. Clever from the Warriors, well executed.
Well, a penalty try will be the one that goes on the score sheet, but it's Glasgow's maul once again doing the business. But Edinburgh have options here. An opportunity arising in the 22. It's Darcy Graham. Now it's Edinburgh's turn, 5 metres out.
They're taking advantage.
There's advantage for the home side. It's Gilchrist.
Have penalty advantage.
This contest has come to life at long last. Price gets it into Schumann. Schumann is almost there. Has he got that over? He has! It could not be a better response from Edinburgh, catching Glasgow cold, and Pierre Schumann, having just committed his future to the club, gets Edinburgh back in front.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a grubber kick through as well from Jevon Sebastian that tees it all off. I'm not sure how the ball bobbled up into his hands, but he pushed it through. Darcy Graham chases it, and then Edinburgh are just more direct and more aggressive with the ball, and that man takes a bit of stopping it. This is where the ball clumps up, I think, in Jevon Sebastian's hands. Oh no, it's Schumann himself. The grubber kicks it through. Matt Curry does really well to win that back. There's a penalty advantage against Glasgow, so Edinburgh are playing with some freedom here. It's all scrappy. There's not a fixed point to get set from, and Schumann just takes it upon himself to get over the line. Passive defensively, and he's well to get that down as well because he's rolled onto his back. As he twists and gets that down, less than a minute after the penalty try has been awarded against them, Edinburgh hit back.
30 seconds.
So Ben Healy Edinburgh with a 1-point advantage with 9 minutes to go. There's a big cheer, the flags go up, 1 point becomes 3.
We've not seen the Glasgow defence come up. Ali Price delays the pass, expecting more pressure to be on him, and then Schumann just takes the space and does well at the final kind of second to twist to get the ball down as he almost gets turned onto his back. And well, 70 minutes without a try. We've got 2 in 1 minute.
Well, they've had to wait, but this game has come to life, and well, that would have been, you would think, an ambitious target for Edinburgh and for the SRU. 40,063 through the gates at Scottish Gas Murrayfield. Like we mentioned at Hampden Park last week, and the achievement for the Glasgow Warriors. Edinburgh have done it as well. A record-breaking crowd, and it's brilliant to see. Almost 70,000 attending the 2 games. And we're going to get a dramatic conclusion, that's for sure. With now Grant Stewart, Sam Talakai and Alex Samuel coming on for the Glasgow Warriors. Not the cleanest of the line out, but Glasgow do have it.
Use it! That's out, yes.
There for Horn, had to react. It's taken down by Gilchrist.
Use it!
Biggest height differential between 2 players on the pitch. Grant Stewart on at hooker.
Good carry by Alex Samuel there.
To Pilotu. Tom Jordan. The backs haven't had the freedom that they enjoyed at Hampden Park. If Glasgow are to win it, they're going to have to really dig in to get over the line here. Trailing by 3, Hugh Jones and Scott Cummings. Sutherland, difficult pass for Tui Pilotu to pick up, but he did. Now Kyle Stain. Well, it's Edinburgh that can nick in and steal that one.
Staying out.
Sebastian Healy. It was a risky pass back in field. Finds Charlie Shield.
Oh, lifted. Okay, use it.
Ali Price to Pierre Schumann. No, it's Glasgow Warriors who win the penalty this time.
Lift here first.
Matt Fagerson at the heart of it.
Clearing some saving, holding.
We'll try to keep the tempo up there as well. Every penalty, every decision you now make is going to have such a bearing. Franco still looks as calm as ever. Glasgow quite deliberate about their preparation here for this line. Edinburgh's defence has been so improved. I mean, it's obvious, obviously they've only conceded a penalty try all day, but the application of it, the intensity of it is so much better. It's frustrated Glasgow, can it hold out here?
Well, they've won in Cape Town, they've won in Cardiff. This is Grant Stewart and the tail of this maul.
One stop! He's through the middle there. He's through the middle there.
George Horn deciding to get his hands on it. Now Tui Pilotu. Edinburgh trying to rip that off him. Tui Pilotu does get to ground. Where's the ball? Is it coming out? It's Edinburgh's put in.
It's not done now, we can move forward.
Morton's in there as he always is, Muncaster, I think James Lang as well. He's made an impact off the bench, as he always does. Hamish Watson is involved in everything. I think Glasgow were kind of forced to play from that maul. George Horn they were still going forward, but there was they'd already had a kind of use it once call, so they went to the midfield, maybe not quite ready for it. So Tui Pilotu took the initiative to go hard. I've just got to say, isolated a little bit.
Barry? Yeah, I understand that. Give me a good picture and I can watch them.
Yeah, it was. He's not put his hands in the ball as much as we saw last week, obviously. It's only 2-0. A lot of that's down to how well Edinburgh defended and starved Glasgow ball at times, but sometimes as well, it's the way the game goes. You can't get that influence.
Okay, number 20, substitution. Number 20, just going off there to get a hooker on.
It's having to go off, and it'll be Dave Cherry who comes back on. Edinburgh a little down to the bare bones in that back row.
That's obviously for the yellow card to Paddy Harrison's the first scrum since Patrick Harrison's been off the field, so Edinburgh obviously feeding the ball into the scrum, so I assume they'll put her back to make it an 8v8 contest.
Looks like James Lang's hanging around the scrum at the moment. From an Edinburgh point, you just want to get this ball away, clear the lines. From Glasgow's point, you push a penalty, you push it too hard, you give Edinburgh that easy exit out of their own 22. So really fine balance here.
Well, after a very stale 65 minutes, it almost seems a shame that there's only 4 minutes left of this. Not for Edinburgh's point of view. They've got the lead and they want that final whistle as quickly as possible. Ali Price gets that away, and Ben Healy got really good distance behind that. That's a fine clearance kick from Healy.
Yeah, it is. I thought Pierre Scrimmon was a bit lucky at that scrum. A lot of pressure coming through, and I think he just hinges. Have a look at, I think it's Tamakai's coming through on that side. Pressure's coming through, he just hinges at the hips. Got away with it.
Yeah, he pulls back a wee bit, doesn't he? His upper body, but excellent, as you say. Strike from Ben Healy up from the Shadow's own post to get almost at 10 metre line.
Cherry knocks it on.
Knocking on the floor here.
Just that Glasgow line out has started to falter of late, but they get away with that one.
Cherry a bit disappointed, didn't manage to regather that bouncing ball there. This is going to be a tough one for them to defend here. You assume they're not going to put someone onto the scrum here. As you see the knock on, so it's going to open up access either out the scrum, but they put someone in there, it'll open up the backfield.
You just get on with your job, please.
Yeah, because they have to mark that short side as well, don't they? So you don't want to take, you can see there the right hand side is coming from an Edinburgh perspective. That has to be marked because Kyle Steen's going to eye up that, and George Horn at the back of the scrum as well. If it's a solid scrum, Tom Jordan's going to put himself in behind the scrum so he can attack either way. Edinburgh, yeah, they're going with a 7-man scrum, so you'd imagine a bit of pressure coming through from the 8 of the Glasgow Warriors here. Perhaps looking for a penalty.
Set! Height now, height here! Use it!
The ref wants it out for sure.
And just as they got the goal forward to Pilotu, Jordan now. Tackle coming in from Lang.
Tackle now!
Support to
back you up. Release 19. Thank you.
2 minutes to go. Glasgow looking for the try. Flinging the pass wide out to the replacement hooker, Grant Stewart.
Okay, go now.
To Pilotu. Hugh Jones. Talakai. A long way to go for Glasgow, but they are most lethal actually in the middle half of the pitch, where they get most of their tries from. Here's Alex Samuel, but Edinburgh's defence has been so solid all afternoon. Jordan. Samuel. Tui Pilotu again. It's that looping pass out to Stewart. Fancies himself as a winger. And that's gone forwards. And
main story of the day, isn't it? Edinburgh's defence, their application to stick to the system, not to jump out of the system, to stay as a unit and then follow up with the physicality. And it's frustrated Glasgow Warriors' attack. Glasgow have committed more errors than they normally do. I think a lot of it is because Edinburgh have just stood off defensively. I know it sounds a wee bit ironic, but they're allowing almost Glasgow want Edinburgh to jump out of the system to create a hole for somebody to run into. Edinburgh keeping that integrity, building on the physicality as well, and have defended so well the frustrated Glasgow Warriors.
34 seconds will be left on the clock. It will be 15 against 15. Well, and John, can you name your player of the match? This one must have been a tight one to call.
There's not been anyone who's really lit up the game in the way that last week was lit up, but you mentioned it there, Rory. It's been attritional. It's been, and you mentioned it as well, Chris, defensive effort has been at the heart of everything good about Edinburgh, and Luke Crosby has typified that. Just physical, raw presence, energy around the pitch. Put himself about for 79 minutes, almost completed the game. A few seconds to go. He's been superb. So he is the BKT URC player of the match this evening.
Let's go! Well, only Leinster have emerged from the city of Edinburgh with a victory this season. That came in round one. One scrum. You can see Ali Price riling up his forwards for one last push. This one will be going high into the east stand, or will it? Loose it goes, kicked in by Healy, and enough to deliver the final whistle. And Edinburgh responds when they looked down, when they looked out, when they were being questioned to the depths. But they have bounced back to beat their biggest rivals in what was a real tussle. Not a classic, not by any shape of the imagination, but that does not matter.